Hi, my name is Edward, and my topic today is limited gun control. My main claim is that guns should be controlled, but not restricted to the police and military. I believe that citizens of the U.S. need to protect themselves from criminals and other threats. They can't do this without something to defend themselves with. However, guns can be dangerous in the wrong hands, which brings me back to why they should be controlled. My three secondary claims are: 1. Gun laws restricting gun use to police and military will hurt citizens. 2. People with mental illness shouldn't have access to guns. And 3. Black market weapons need to be restricted so that the gun laws are actually effective. Restricting gun use to police and military will only hurt our citizens. Nazi says, responsible gun owners who buy weapons legally aren't committing gun crimes. In other words, gun owners who know and abide by the rules know that owning firearms are dangerous and they need to follow these rules. Gun restrictions are only going to affect the legal gun transactions and not black market ones. Criminals are going to be able to get away with buying weapons, hurting our citizens, without cracking down on black market purchases. Then the laws are going to have no effect on us or on criminals. I'll talk more about that later. Criminals will be armed, civilians will be defenseless. Again, restrictions will prevent law-abiding citizens from protecting themselves against the criminals who have these black market weapons. And these weapons are illegal, so they're going to bypass the laws. People with serious mental illnesses shouldn't own guns to their instability. Emma McGinty from Johns Hopkins University says that in recent years, mass shootings by persons with serious mental illness, or SMI, have received considerable public attention and prompted policymakers to propose multiple policies designed to prevent persons with SMI from having guns. Obviously, there are already policies set in motion to prevent people with mental disorders from accessing and purchasing guns, but they're not in order yet, and we need to focus on getting those plans in order. Persons with SMI don't necessarily have criminal records, so they're able to purchase weapons regularly. Due to that, I believe that there should be psychological tests that test people if their psychology will be a problem with weapons and firearms. Black market guns need to be restricted to prevent the bypassing of gun laws by criminals. Weapons are being sold illegally to criminals through the black market, thereby threatening citizens. The borders are where these black market weapons are being transported, and in order for us to crack down on these black market transactions, we need the borders to be more heavily guarded and have maybe x-ray machines or have people go through the cargo manually to check for any black market weapons. Again, black market weapons are illegal and they're getting through the borders, and we need to strengthen border security in order for that to be ended. In conclusion, gun laws will hurt citizens by making them vulnerable to criminals who won't follow these laws. There need to be psychological tests to prevent people with serious mental illnesses from using firearms in mass shootings, and black market weapons need to be prevented from entering the country by increasing border security. Thank you.
Okay, Edward, the claim that you present as your main proposition is really a policy claim instead of a claim of fact. The argument that needs to be presented here is that additional gun control laws would be unlikely to or would be ineffective in reducing crime. And the reason that they would be ineffective is because they would only apply to people who are unlikely to create a problem, that the people who create the problems have access to guns illegitimately, and we don't have any way of controlling that. That's kind of the direction that your argument seems to be going, but like I said, the phrasing of the proposition is really a little bit confusing, and the first of the supporting points especially is confusing. The second and the third points are a little bit more straightforward, although how they fit into the proposition that you've got is also confusing. You label the first point when you get to it, so structurally I can tell where you are. The transition to the second point, it was abrupt, but it was clear. You just started on the third point, so I don't know that we ever finished that second point. It sounds like the third point is really just a continuation of that issue. There's not really a lot of evidence in the argument. I got one quote about SMI and some hypotheticals on data, but there's not any information that talks about what kinds of crimes are committed, who commits those particular crimes, what gun laws exist, whether or not they are effective, how many crimes are committed by black market guns, how many guns are imported illegally, how many criminals who aren't supposed to have guns get them anyway. Like I said, there's just a whole range of places where there could be information that there isn't any information. Instead, we just kind of have these hypothetical examples that you're coming up with, and so I think that it's a little bit underdeveloped. At the end, I thought that you kind of summarized it a little bit more effectively, trying to make your argument. You do a good job speaking to the audience, but you need to build the argument more. All right, thank you.